Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Umpqua Community College and the Oregon Musical Theater Festival's production of Choir Girls, an original musical by UCC's Jason Heald. Today's performance is free, but if the spirit moves you, we will be accepting donations at the table and passing the offering plate at intermission. All proceeds will help fund the Oregon Musical Theater Festival, so thank you and please give generously. And also at this time, we would like to remind you that although heavenly noises from the audience are okay, we prefer that you silence your cell phones. Once again, welcome to UCC's Swanson Amphitheater and tonight's performance of Choir Girls. Please enjoy the show.
Good evening, and welcome to the Sabbath Serenaders Thursday evening rehearsal. My name's Natalie, and I lead a women's quartet at the Church of St. Paul in the Mall. The girls and I rehearse here at my house every week. As you might have guessed, the Church of St. Paul in the Mall is located in a strip mall. It's on the outskirts of Hillsboro, right between the dollar store and Cora Campbell's Clip and Curl. Sabbath Serenaders are going through a big transition at the moment because Margaret, one of the founding members of the group, recently moved to Palm Springs with her husband. She said they got tired of all this Oregon rain. Well, I have to say, the rain doesn't bother me at all. I tell people that's why God gave us umbrellas. Anyway, tonight's our first night with Margaret's replacement, and we're all very excited. The girls should be arriving any time now. That must be them. Michelle, come on in.
Hi, Natalie. Is she here yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, good. I always like to be early, you know. The early bird gathers no moss.
I believe that might be true. While we're waiting for the others, feel free to help yourself to a beverage in the kitchen.
Oh, I'm okay for now. Maybe later.
Oh, Rebecca! Oh, I am so delighted that you decided to join us.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Natalie. It is so lovely here.
Oh, thank you. I feel fortunate to live in such a quiet neighborhood.
Oh, you're very lucky. I just moved to town, so I'm still renting, but I've been looking for a place in this area.
Well, if I see any homes come on the market, I'll let you know. Okay. Rebecca, this is Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
We're so excited to have you join us.
Oh, I'm very excited, too. I've been looking for a place to sing and a church to join. Seem to have found both at St. Paul's.
Well, God must have steered you in our direction, knowing we needed a second alto this fall.
You must have. One minute I'm heading into the dollar store to look for Halloween decorations, and the next I'm listening to your lovely music through the storefront window of your church.
Can I offer you something to drink?
Oh, no thanks. I'm doing fine right now.
Okay. Must be Susan. Hi, Susan.
Hi, Natalie.
My, that is quite the outfit you have on there tonight.
I came here directly from court, so I didn't have time to change.
Doesn't that seem a bit inappropriate for trial?
Well, opposing counsel didn't seem to think so. It raised everything but an objection.
Susan. This is Margaret's replacement.
Hi, I'm Rebecca.
A pleasure to meet you. I'm Susan, and I love your sandals.
You haven't introduced me to your accompanist yet.
Pardon me?
He plays so beautifully.
No, just a moment.
Oh, my.
Oh, well, it's just Adam. He's just our pianist. Well, since he can neither hear nor speak, well, we developed some signals to help our rehearsals be more efficient.
So he's a deaf mute?
Exactly. So we just point at the place in the music where we want him to start, and then whap him upside the head when we need him to stop.
Here, I'll show you.
Just like that.
Unbelievable.
Why don't you try?
Oh, no, I don't think so. Oh,
Oh,
no, I couldn't do that.
Oh, come on. It really is an affirming sensation.
Oh, I see what you mean. Feels, well, almost therapeutic.
I think that Adam might be the perfect man. How many times have you wished for a man you could just point at something and he'd just do it? You don't even have to ask him twice, or even say please. Maybe I should seduce him.
You mean you haven't already?
I think it's time to get down to work. Shall we warm up?
Me me ma mo mu. 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 We sing to find the perfect blend. Me me ma mo mu. We ring the chord, a sound to send a chill through the congregation and thrill those who seek salvation. We're the Sabbath Serenaders, a quartet of choral crusaders, rehearsing for Sunday at St. Paul's. With songs we sing straight from our hearts.
A sermon in 4 female parts.
You'll have your own epiphany. Just pick a pew, the music's free at the Church of St. Paul in the mall. Me, me, ma, mo, mu. Our singing seems to pat them in. Me, me, ma, mo, mu. With an extra dose of estrogen, like sirens, we call them to shore. For music, they beat down the door. We're the Sabbath Serenaders, a quartet of choral crusaders, rehearsing for Sunday at St. Paul's. Our harmonies heavenly bliss, perfection we sometimes may miss. You'll have your own epiphany. Just pick a pew, the music's free at the Church of St. Paul in the mall.
Now, I think it's time to get down to business. I've picked out a few new songs for us to sing through and decide if any of the selections should be added to our repertoire.
Oh, that sounds dandy. I love singing new songs.
Well, we'll be singing for communion in a couple of weeks, so maybe we can find something along those lines.
This title sounds like it might be a communion song. It says, Communion Song.
It might have possibilities.
Take, eat, this is my blood, my blood, my blood. This is my blood.
Oh, what the heck is this?
Ugh, goodness, it does seem a little dark.
A little. If it were any darker, you'd need a flashlight just to turn the pages. Who wrote this setting?
It says, I am Nosferatu. I never heard of him.
Well, whoever he is, he better not quit his day job. This is terrible.
I agree. This should never have seen the light of day. Oh, let's see if we can find something else.
So, Michelle, I hear you had a hot date last Friday.
I sure did. He knocked me right off my socks.
So, where'd you go?
Oh, we stayed at home.
You invited him to your house on the first date?
No, we both stayed at home. I was at my house and Jim was at his.
Well, that doesn't sound like much of a date.
Jim and I had a wonderful evening. We chatted till almost 1 in the morning.
You chatted, like on the computer.
Sure, I date almost entirely online.
Online, like social networking?
One of those online dating services like eHarmony.
eHarmony, Match.com, Facebook, you name it, I've joined it. I've met more men online than you can shake a stick at.
Yeah, but if you don't get out from behind that computer, no one's going to be shaking anything at anybody.
But that's the best part of it. How much time have you spent getting ready to go out with a man and you don't even know if he'll be worth the effort?
Well, that's true. At least when I was young, you got a good meal and a movie out of a lousy date. Now everything's Dutch tree.
Believe me, it's a lot better to pay your own way. It's much safer than being indebted to a guy with armpit stains in his corduroy jacket.
But still, dating online, isn't that a little like the rodeo without the bull riding?
Yeah, maybe a little. But think about it. I don't have to worry about a guy calling me all hours of the night or showing up at the house unannounced. But most importantly, I don't have to spend a mountain of money on clothes, shave my legs, or worry about the 5 pounds I put on last Christmas. No late afternoons at the beauty salon either. I look great every time they see me because I provide the picture. I'm virtually perfect, not a blemish you'll see. I'm virtually perfect, I'm a Facebook fantasy. My flattering photos, all I need for success. Who cares if my hair and my makeup are a mess? If stroking a key is not quite stroking a thigh, you will always look your best when you meet that special guy. I don't need to be myself, so I know I'll do just fine because I'm virtually perfect online. I'm virtually perfect. You can check me out tonight. I'm virtually perfect in romantic flat screen light. You know who your friends are, 'cause they're printed on the screen. I reject all the riffraff and never cause a scene. Forget the first date jitters, they're a thing of the past. When you're in a network romance, who cares if it won't last? It's the motherlode of dating, even I know how to mind because I'm virtually perfect online. I'm virtually perfect, need I say anymore? I'm virtually perfect, not the troll I was before. I'm the belle of the ball at any dating site I choose. With the hordes of horny hackers, there's no way that I benchmarks they can't see. Just as long as I keep posting, they'll dream of posting me. In the celestial sea of cyberspace, my network star can shine because I'm virtually perfect online.
Well, I still prefer to meet men the old-fashioned way, in bars.
Or behind bars. Oh, so much music, but none of it looks very exciting. Oh, all right, now here's an intriguing collection. The Scriptures Through Popular Song. Oh, let's try a couple.
This one should be interesting. Revelation 20.
Okay. Rebecca, why don't you take the solo?
My Savior's back and you're gonna be in trouble.
Hey, Lord, my Savior's
You
back.
see him coming, better cut out on the double.
Hey, Lord, my Savior's back. Hey, he knows that you've been lying. Hey, instead of signifying,
You're gonna be sorry that you were such a liar.
hey, Lord, my Savior's
There's a
back.
sword in his mouth and his eyes are on fire.
Hey, Lord, my Savior's back. Hey, you should have kept her waiting. Hey, but you were flirting with Satan.
I'm not so sure about this one either.
Yeah, perhaps it's better suited for the Baptists.
Okay, here's another one. 1 Kings chapter 19. Oh, this is probably about Elijah in the cave.
How about if I take this one?
Okay.
Earth angel, when can I dine? I prefer steak, but cake would do just fine. I'm all alone, and 40 days without food. Earth angel, I need to be fed. This cave has no ravens to bring me meat and bread. I'm all alone, and 40 days without food.
Wah, wah, wah,
This doesn't seem like a real winner either.
Steak, cake, all this food. After singing about food, I'm starting to get hungry.
No snacks yet, Natalie. Remember, willpower is the key to a successful diet. Stick to it, and maybe one day we'll get to see a lot less of you.
For some reason, I don't find that very motivating.
Believe me, it's much better to think about how much more you can show off when you're 10 pounds lighter. That's what keeps me on my diet.
If that were true, Susan, you would have withered away to nothing a long time ago.
Oh, so, Rebecca, do you have any children?
Oh, no ma'am. But I've always been very fond of cats, and I have a Siamese who keeps me company. How about you?
I have two, a boy and a girl.
I have 4, but no grandchildren yet, thank goodness.
Not for me. Oh, I've robbed the cradle a few times, but never made a contribution myself.
Well, it must be very satisfying to see your kids grow and make their way in the world.
Oh, I couldn't be more proud of my kids. It's the most rewarding thing I've done in my entire life.
Me too. But it's funny. My kids turned 18, left home, and then for one reason or another, ended up moving back in with me.
Ah, that is so true. You know, it's difficult these days for young adults to get established in their careers and become financially independent. You know, as parents, we often have to pick up the pieces when their lives break down.
My oldest wants to buy a house, and she's trying to save some cash. My youngest is on furlough, and he needs a place to crash. I love it when the kids drop by. I love their company. But when they come to visit, they soon move in permanently, because they all come to live with me. Yes, they all come to live with me. My nest should be empty, my chicks have all flown, but they're flocking back even though they're full grown, because they all come to live with me.
I know exactly what you mean. Rachel lost her job last week and now can't pay her rent. But he's been back for 9 months and he hasn't made a cent. Julie's out of school and she's looking for good work. And Wally's wife just kicked him out for acting like a jerk. And they all come to live with me. Yes, they all come to live with me. My nest should be empty, my chicks have all flown, but they're flocking back even though they're full grown, because they all come to live with me. You know, sometimes they don't even call first, they just show up.
No notice at all.
So irritating.
They leave for college or to find some new employment. They leave on trips for their personal enjoyment. I hate it when they leave or when they're so far away. But when they return, why must they move in to stay? Because they all come to live with me. Yes, they all come to live with me. My nest should be empty, my chicks have all flown, but they're flocking back even though they're full grown, because they all come to live with me.
Times are really tough for everyone, and your kids are very lucky to have y'all to help them out.
Well, I wish somebody would tell them that. Sometimes they just take you for granted.
Well, now, here's a promising new song. Jesus, He is My Friend. It says an anthem for all occasions.
How about if I take this one?
Okay.
Well, the title sounds generic enough for any season.
It may be just what we're looking for.
Okay.
Jesus, Jesus, He is my friend. Jesus, Jesus, my pal to the end. He's my friend when I'm sitting, my friend when I stand. He's my friend when I'm swimming or on the dry land. He's my friend when I'm waking or just dozing off. He's my friend when I'm healthy or wrecked without Jesus, my pal to the end. He's my friend when I'm smoking or pouring a drink. He's my friend when I'm washing my glass in the sink. He's my friend when I'm cooking or scrambling eggs. He's my friend when I'm bathing and shaving my legs. He is everywhere. Jesus.
Oh, please, not another verse.
It's so repetitive.
They weren't kidding when they said for all occasions. Are there any occasions they left out?
I think it's a little creepy, too. Makes Jesus sound less like a friend and more like a stalker.
He sounds like your type, Susan. Maybe you can get a date.
No thanks. I find men that wear sandals to be a big turnoff. But then again, carpenters have nice, calloused hands, strong, muscular arms. If I could just get past the feet.
Maybe we should get back to singing.
I agree. Good anthems seem to be rarer than hen's teeth.
Rebecca, I simply love your accent. You must be from the South.
No, ma'am. I'm from Texas. And we don't speak with an accent. Y'all do.
Oh, fair enough. But what brought you all the way to Oregon?
Sometimes you just need to get out of Dodge.
That either means you robbed a liquor store, hooked up with the wrong man. I suspect the latter.
You got that right. You can bet your boots I'd still be there if it wasn't for a confounded guy. I love Austin, the hot summer nights, the music and lights of downtown. I love Austin, where weird's a dress code in the nightclubs exploding with sound. And oh, how romance fills the air. Then one man steals your heart, and he becomes a part of all that's there. I still love Austin, but he doesn't love me. All its bright lights grew dim when reminded of him and the future that never will be. I still love Austin, and I can hardly wait to plant my heels in the clay of the Lone Star State. But for now, it is best to be gone. I may have moved away, but I can't seem to move on. I love Austin, each warm autumn day when orange jerseys play on the field. I love Austin, a longhorn from birth with 4 hooves in the turf that never yield. But oh, how he brought me to my knees. He tamed my youthful passion. He left my spirit thrashing in the breeze. I still love Austin, but he doesn't love me. All its bright lights grew dim when reminded of him and the future that never will be. The Colorado River flows through Matagorda Bay. 1,000 miles of river to plant my heels in the clay of the Lone Star State. But for now, it is best to be gone. I may have moved away, but I can't seem to move on.
To you, Rebecca, I'm so sorry it didn't work out.
But look on the sunny side. If I hadn't have left Austin, I wouldn't be in this beautiful state, and I wouldn't have met y'all.
Yeah, I guess every cloud has a silver platter.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever go back, you could bring me a pair of boots.
Susan, you're amazing. With you, every conversation eventually comes around to the subject of shoes.
So what's your point?
I mean, really? Does everything have to involve shoes?
Well, I can think of at least one thing that doesn't. Although, depending on the circumstances, shoes might be considered optional.
Enough, you two. It must be time to bring out the snacks.
Almost. But let's run through a couple more songs before we take a break. Don't forget, willpower.
Oh, I know. I just can't stop thinking about food, especially meats.
I know what you mean. Sometimes when I'm on a diet, I get so hungry, I could ride a horse.
On my new diet, do you know what I eat for breakfast?
No, what?
Vegetables. And you know what I eat for lunch? More vegetables. And you know what I eat for dinner?
Let me guess. More vegetables?
Yes. I never thought I'd miss red meat so much.
You know, in Texas, we consider chicken a vegetable.
Well, eating vegetables is good for you, and it's good for the planet.
Oh, I know, but it's not easy. I crave it all the time. This morning, I saw my neighbor Springer outside my kitchen window, and I started drooling. I started thinking about all the different ways I might prepare it.
You mean like a sweet and sour spaniel?
That's disgusting.
Remind me not to leave you alone with my Airedale when you come over.
I'm serious. It's a hard thing to give up. It's time for me to quit my carnivorous ways and develop a taste for leaner, greener dishes. It's goodbye to pork and hello to sprouts and fishes. I mustn't succumb to my culinary wishes. I'll find an early grave with a tasty T-bone. The cutlet that I crave, they're carving on my tombstone. They tell me if I plan to lengthen my days, it's time for me to quit my carnivorous ways. I lay awake at night, sadly counting sheep. The smell of lamb grows stronger with every leap. My cholesterol is climbing while I'm fast asleep. But in my waking hours, my vows I should keep. It's time for me to quit my carnivorous ways. Try to find an entree that doesn't oink or bellow. Cut back on the fat, so I'll be a trimmer fellow. Bring on the desserts, now there's always room for Jell-O. My luster-hated flesh is just a passing phase. It's time for me to quit my carnivorous ways. Trade my filet mignon for a head of cauliflower, my steak Diane for a carrot to devour. ways and develop a taste for leaner, greener dishes. It's goodbye to pork and hello to sprouts and fishes. I mustn't succumb to my culinary wishes. The heart that I may save may be the one that I own. Try not to misbehave and leave the red meat alone. They tell me if I plan to lengthen my days, it's time for me to quit. It's time for me to quit. It's time for me to quit my carnivorous ways.
I feel your pain, Natalie. You know, some of my worst hunger pangs are on a Sunday morning, especially if the service is running a little long and I can smell the coffee from the community hall. I'm always afraid someone will hear my stomach growling.
Well, that won't be a problem at St. Paul's. The traffic from the street could cover up a lion's roar.
There are days when I wish we could smell coffee. Even though Cora Campbell's Clip and Curl is closed on Sundays, sometimes they make special appointments for perms. The smell of the chemicals comes right through the ventilation system.
Yeah, we try to ignore the odor, and we tell newcomers that we burn environmentally friendly incense.
Another big problem at the Church of St. Paul in the mall is the air conditioner. It's always breaking down in the summer, and it always seems to break down on the hottest days.
Last summer, it got so hot the regular members started calling it the Church of St. Joan.
Ain't that the way life is? Things always seem to break when you need them the most.
That's so true, Rebecca. You know, but I have to admit that sometimes there are so many things that aren't going right in my life. I feel cursed.
Me too.
Yeah? Everything for me is broken. That's a plain and simple fact. Promises are shattered, dreams are torn and tattered, even my best friends are all cracked. Everything for me is broken, my whole world's in disrepair. My cable's on the blink, my roses really stink, and now my cat is wheezing for air. When I can catch a break, well, take it quite literally. When a restroom's out of order, it will be permanently. I pray the sun might shine on me, but dark clouds are my legacy, because everything seems to be broken for me.
Believe me, you two aren't the only ones with troubles. Everything for me is broken. Nothing ever seems to work. Any man I mention that merits my attention winds up being gay or a jerk.
So everything for me is broken. I never know what blow comes next. A dead refrigerator, an auto alternator that leaves my poor mechanic perplexed.
I wish I had a dime each time that the phone decided to ring, while I was in the shower or indisposed. Maybe time will change my luck, but my misfortune has run amok, because everything seems to be broken for me.
Starting to get hungry.
Me too. Good. Let's go in the kitchen for snacks.
Well, since everything really does seem to be broken, we're going to take a short break, but we'll be right back to finish up the rehearsal. Oh, if you brought your pets with you tonight, you may want to keep them on a leash. Anyway, we'll be back in 10 minutes.
thought your mango Danish was scrumptious.
Oh, well, thank you. I didn't even know they grew mangoes in Denmark.
I have to ask you, whatever possessed you to make peanut butter and anchovy canapes?
You're not pregnant, are you? Oh, that is so wrong on so many levels.
Yes, but at least I still have lots of fun trying.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that the alarm on your biological clock must be ringing every hour on the hour. But I will have you know that the recipe for peanut butter and anchovy canapes came straight out of Bon Appetit last month. Yeah, but I admit, it must be an acquired taste.
It's just an acquired taste. It's just an acquired taste. A process for palates to be trained. It never can be too late to learn to discriminate. When diets are dull and so ingrained.
The habits we have are traced back from our birth. We're taught how to feed, not how to die.
In time we can tell what one bite can be worth, and how to tell water from wine.
It's just an acquired taste, a judgment not made in haste, to learn to be open to change, the new and the strange, a broad range in your repast.
I eventually learned to eat Brussels sprouts when I was still in college.
Well, I learned to eat liver while I was still in high school.
I learned to eat chicken gizzards, but only with strawberry ice cream. It's just an acquired taste. It's just an acquired taste. It's something that science can't explain.
The smell of a steeping tea can please the olfactory. Prefer the exotic to the plain.
We humans were meant to make the most of our meals. A caveman could cook his favorite fare. A mammoth with salt had much greater appeal, and always served medium rare.
It's just an acquired taste, and never a bite to waste.
Your food can do more than sustain.
Reject the mundane.
The bagel can be replaced. It's just an acquired taste.
Well, I must say that I personally have never put much stock in the idea of acquired taste. I mean, really, some caveman takes a bite of a plant and it tastes terrible, so he thinks, well, maybe if I just eat more of it, it'll taste better. People aren't that stupid.
Don't bet on it. Some guys hit on women using the same tired lines that never work, thinking that if they keep on using them, they'll magically become charming.
Yeah, well, some women hit on the same tired guys, thinking that one day those same tired guys might magically become charming, but frogs never turn into princes.
You got that right.
That sounds like the voice of experience.
Unfortunately, yes. I just kicked out my toad after 28 years of marriage.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, don't be sorry. You know, once he's gone, you suddenly realize all the little things that really irritated you, that you put up with, just to keep the relationship together. I loved him, there's no two ways about it. I loved him, he had no cause to doubt it. To get along, we learn early on to cut our lovers slack. But any little flaw can we spoke, he said, I miss everything we had. But ask me today, the thing we had just got in the way. I left him in spite of his appealing. I left him with scars that were not healing. He promised he could change his ways and turn over a new leaf. But his promise was an empty stage in a theater of grief. For the first time in years, my countertops are clean. For the first time in years, my bedroom carpet can be seen. We spoke, he said, I miss everything we had. But ask me today, the thing we had just got in the way. Just got in the way. Just
That's one thing I've learned about men. You can't change them. My mama used to say that trying to train a man is like trying to teach a pig to sing. It just frustrates you and it really annoys the pig.
Yeah, I guess a tiger can never change his spots. We have yet to select one suitable anthem for this year. Rebecca, you have such a lovely voice. Where did you learn to sing?
Oh, I've been singing since I was just a little squirt. In fact, for years, my brother and I sang duets in church almost every Sunday.
So, your brother sings too?
He used to, till he went through puberty. He had a beautiful soprano voice. Then one day he woke up and he sounded like a cow giving birth to a roll of barbed wire. So he gave it up.
Well, you certainly do have a delightful voice, and you're such a wonderful addition to the Sabbath Serenaders. Here is one that might be perfect for the blessing of the animals. You know, October 4th is right around the corner. Blessing of the animals. This arrangement is the perfect way to make your special guests feel at ease.
Well, it sounds like a good choice. Let's try it.
Yeah. Rebecca, why don't you take the lead again? Know about this one. When I sing about donkeys, it reminds me of Christmas.
When I sing about donkeys, it reminds me of my colleagues at last year's Christmas party.
While we're on the subject of donkeys, who was that man I saw you with last week?
When?
Last Tuesday night.
Well, you'll have to be more specific. Was he wearing wingtips or penny loafers?
You must be joking.
Was it in the late afternoon or early evening?
It was around 5 o'clock.
Oh, that was Philip, the periodontist.
A what?
A periodontist? A tooth surgeon? It was one of the strangest dates in my entire life.
That's saying something.
Have you ever tried to eat an entire meal without opening your mouth? I didn't dare let my lips part for the whole evening. I'd start to smile and he'd look at me like I had a head of cabbage stuck between my front teeth.
So let me get this straight. Philip wasn't your only date on Tuesday?
No, I met Bill for a drink at the Hilton later that evening. He's an investment broker.
Mr. Pennyloafer, I presume?
Wow, Susan, you sound like one busy little mare. Must be fun having all those studs kicking in their stalls, just waiting to gallop off with you for an evening.
Not as much fun as you think. Men don't pay attention to anyone but themselves. Oh, they're quick to flatter you, and they'll listen to you long enough to take your clothes off. But that's about it. It's no different than going out with one guy, just multiply it by 3.
How about 6?
Very funny. Wingtips, penny loafers, different sizes. But otherwise, they're all about the same. This pair is for Sunday, if I make it to church. This pair's in the car, in case it leaves me in the lurch. Footwear for the office, come rain or come shine. Footwear for the parties that start after 9. Straps attract the young men and a plump middle age. Heaven knows high heels will rattle any man's cage. One pair designed to snag Mr. Right, another pair to snare Mr. Wrong for just one night. Sandals for the summer heat, boots to beat the cold. Styles for every season, every make and brand that's sold. With all this variation, I never seem to choose sensible shoes. Imelda would be proud of my collection, a vast array of colors, a wide selection. It helps to fight my fear of rejection. Every shoe fits my foot to a T. The only trouble is they never seem to fit. They never seem to fit me. They never seem to fit me. I'd be the best companion, I'd make the perfect wife. I always take the first step with no traction in my life. My hope stays in the closet until I learn to choose sensible shoes.
Guys are a whole lot like cowboy boots. They're nice and polished up on top, but somewhere underneath it all, there's always a heel.
And guys are so lucky, they don't have to go through half the things we women endure. Childbirth, stretch marks,
Female surgery. Oh, by the way, did you know that Sally, that's our church secretary, had a hysterectomy last Tuesday?
I think that's the first time she's ever had surgery that didn't involve reconstruction. Tucks, implants, you name it, she's got it.
and the clothes she wears. I could not believe she wore that skimpy red dress to the Good Friday service last year.
Oh, I agree. That dress was in terrible taste. You know, a woman her age should not be showing that much skin, let alone wearing a dress like that to a church service.
She looked like something that belonged on the top of a hooker's wedding cake.
Oh,
I wonder where she bought that dress.
Susan! Well, Sally can dress rather flamboyantly, and we certainly hope that she recovers quickly.
Well, I'm proud to say I still have all of my original equipment.
Even if you have put over 200,000 miles on it.
I had my hysterectomy a few years ago, and there are some things I definitely don't miss.
My mama told me it's like remodeling your house. You just turn the nursery into the recreation room.
That's a nice way of looking at it.
Well, I don't worry about any of my missing parts. It's what's happened to the parts that I've kept that bothers me. You know, I used to be really proud of my figure. Now, a few pounds here, a few pounds there.
Oh, tell me about it. It's not just battling my weight either. Seems like everything is shifting and not for the better. From where I stand, it's all downhill from here. Gravity has taken a hold of the best of me and started to remold the rest of me. It's sad to see I'm under the influence of gravity. I'm sagging with every jostle and thud. It's dragging my self-esteem in the mud. I can curse, I can swear, I can try to repair, resorting to cosmetic surgery. But the knife only slices one way, all due to the sway of gravity.
My parts that were perky slump listlessly. My face like a turkey swings droopily. A tragedy, all doomed by the power of gravity.
Sir Isaac came up with a theory, and scientists answered his call. When muscles and skin have grown weary, then more than just apples can fall. Gravity has taken a hold of the best of me and started to remold the rest of me. It's sad to see I'm under the influence of gravity.
My derriere's more than double in size. It's racing downhill to cover my thighs. You work out, you sweat, you try to forget that physics determines your destiny. No matter what action you choose, in the end, you will lose out to gravity.
you can hear?
Of course I can hear. How could I play the piano if I couldn't hear?
And you can speak?
Praise the Lord, it's a miracle.
Now, wait a minute. You mean for the past 6 months you've been listening to us sing and talk?
And talk.
And never once let on that you could hear and speak?
You never said a word. Not a word. Not a single blessed word.
Unbelievable.
Your wife said that you were a deaf mute.
Well, what man ever listens to his wife, let alone talks to her? She tells everybody that. You guys just took her literally.
But why would you let the girls treat you in a way that seems, well, so degrading?
Degrading? Perhaps. But I prefer to think of it as stimulating. I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm a glutton for punishment. There's something inside of my brain that feels a pleasure incited by pain. I desire circumstances where I attract verbal abuse. Every female word that lances is a jolt of jungle juice. I'm a glutton for punishment. Let me taste your admonishment. Some men play to their vanity, not this insanity, but I offer no other excuse. Women are creatures that control and require submission, a quality of my basest desire. Every poke and prod you manage to inflict will do no harm. Just feel my blood race like a savage allured by your feminine charm. I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm every girl's fantasy, no shred of dignity. Give me your very best shot. Don't think it's cruel, it's hot. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot.
Oh, my. Well, now what are we going to do?
I think we need to kill him.
Kill me?
Oh, you know, in Texas, we've got lynching down to a fine art. One piece of rope, one tree.
Maybe a good stoning. That has a nice biblical sense of justice to it. Natalie has some big rocks in her driveway that would be more than adequate.
Kill me? Come on.
Oh, now hold on. I know we're all a little upset, but this isn't going to help us find our anthems any faster, and we need something to sing for this Sunday.
Natalie's right. Besides, where else are we going to find another pianist on such short notice?
Adam, would you still be willing to play for us even if we don't treat you like a deaf mute?
Of course. I mean, it wasn't my idea in the first place. I won't miss all of your pointing or your gesturing, but you can still hit me in the head every now and again.
I suggest we get back to business.
Oh, here's an old chestnut I remember from when I was a youngster. It was my daddy's favorite hymn.
Oh, you know, the old standbys are the favorites of some of our more mature members.
Isn't that just about everyone in our congregation?
Well, you know, I think they might really enjoy something a little more traditional and familiar.
I agree.
Rebecca, why don't you take the solo, since it was your daddy's favorite?
Please play the introduction for us, Adam.
Standing on the promises of Christ, my King, through eternal ages let his praises ring. Glory in the highest I will shout and sing, standing on the promises of God.
Standing on the promises, standing on the promises, standing on the promises of Christ, my Savior. Standing on the promises, standing on the promises, I'm standing on the promises of God.
Hey! Standing on the promises that cannot fail, when the howling storms of doubt and fear assail. Man, by the living word of God I shall prevail.
Preach it, sister.
Standing on the promises of God.
Standing on the promises, standing on the promises, standing on the promises of Christ, my Savior. Standing on the promises, standing on the promises, I'm standing on the promises of God. Standing on the promises of Christ, my Lord, bound to him eternally by love's strong cord, overcoming daily with the Spirit's sword, standing on the promises of God. Standing on the promises, standing on the promises, standing on the promises of Christ, my Savior. Standing on the promises, standing on the promises, I'm standing on the promises of God.
Bring it home, Rebecca.
Standing.
Yes, we are standing.
Yes, I am standing.
Standing on promises of God. Oh,
Yeah, that should get their toes a tapping this Sunday.
Yeah, it's heads and tails above anything we've run through tonight.
That ought to do for this Sunday, but what about next Sunday?
Oh, yeah, I think we better just take 1 week at a time. And I hope that you will come and hear the Sabbath Serenaders this Sunday at the Church of St. Paul in the Mall. And before we close, we always like to end our rehearsals with one of our favorite songs. May our dates all be handsome and clever and warm.
And their breath always pleasant and sweet.
May our cars always start and their ashtrays be clean,
With upholstery that won't chafe our seat. Make our meals delicious with low-calorie dishes, so our waistlines will never expand.
May we always find footwear in elegant style,
And our wardrobes look tastefully planned.
if the sermon is boring and the service is slow, may our yawning be soft and discreet.
When the weather is warm and a breeze can't be found, may our makeup not melt in the heat. May moments of trial be fleeting and few, and let laughter not leave us to
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending tonight's performance of Choir Girls.
Oh,